What's shakin' bacon? I am a digital artist, and I asked people on my Instagram what they wanted a step-by-step tutorial on, and only 2 people answered, but they were the same thing, kind of. It said something about lighting, you're really good at it, and I've always been interested in how you color and shade, which is great, because coloring is my personal favorite part of digital art, and yeah, that's cool. We're gonna do that now. So basically, as a little synopsis of what I'm going to be showing you, I'm going to show you how to add a character to a photo regardless of your art style. It could be cartoon, realistic. This is mainly about how to integrate your character into a photo. Second, I'm going to teach you your true colors versus altered colors, and we'll go into that in more depth in a minute. And overlay, it's another coloring thing, so pieces are consistent. Your shading color, your lighting color, and then your final editing to like make it all coherent so your character doesn't stick out. Yeah. There are a lot of good photos to choose from. I actually, for this tutorial, I changed photos like 2 times before I settled on the one that I wanted, which is fine, because that just means there's a lot of things to choose from. I personally use Pinterest because they have a lot more niche and visually interesting photos, but there are a lot of sources like Plexels, which is a website with free stock footage. That way you don't have to worry about like unintentionally stealing anything when you're using your background photos. But yeah, this is the one I ended up picking, and yeah, it's pretty cool. It's really low resolution, and obviously when you draw over it, it's not going to be as high resolution. But yeah, we'll get to that in a second. So for this particular character, you can see I very briefly tried to draw another one, but I decided against it. He's not, at least the way I draw, it's pretty, like the proportions are pretty realistic, I like to think, but the overall it's a pretty cartoony style, and I tend to, if I'm not rendering anything, I tend to gravitate more towards the cartoony style because it looks funnier, I think, in my personal opinion, regardless of the tone in a realistic photo. So this is just me drawing him real quick. I'm putting in line art, just making sure like the lines match. I don't know. Your drawing process is gonna be different than mine, but this is just trying to use as much footage as I possibly can. But yeah, it's me tweaking him a little bit. I was using a pencil brush that I got on the asset store. It was a free one. I don't remember which one it was exactly. I'll look for that. But yeah, you just draw your character in, and then once you have the line art is when you're gonna flat color. Alright, so this coloring bit is my personal favorite. You can see that eraser tool I'm using, you can get that on the Clip Studio Paint store. It's really handy. I referenced the line art layer, and then I just like, it's cool. It's very like time saving. But basically what I'm doing right now is I'm flat coloring it with the colors that I used on his reference, and the colors I use on his reference are his true colors, so the ones that aren't affected by any other light. It's a very like, or it's like on a neutral background. You can see on the left side of my screen, I have a color palette for that already. When you do this, it's a lot easier to fix colors rather than like trying to color it the first time. Like all these colors are pretty like blue and green. If you try to like transfer the colors, it's not going to look as accurate, and your continuity for characters is going to lack. But yeah, and then what I'm doing there is I'm just kind of fixing the background because his head was popping out, and I just blended some colors. But yeah. Okay, for this one, what I did was I took like that mid-tone blue color, and I put a clipping layer over the flat colors. And then what a clipping layer is, it's like an alpha lock that you can go back and edit, so it doesn't affect like the shape that you're coloring over. Oh, I'm trying to fix a cigarette, that's funny. And then what I did it really fast here because I sped up the footage, but I put the clipping layer mask the overlay into multiply. In this, I'm basically doing the same thing but this time I took the darker color. I made another clipping mask on top of the overlay, and I'm just like cell shading it, and then I go back in and I blend it all in. But I didn't really elaborate what multiply is. Multiply, it's adding the layer onto your flat coloring, and I think I'm doing the same with the lighting. I'm gonna grab like a lighter tone, and I'm just gonna put in the highlights and then blend those in. But instead of the multiply layer tool or blending mode, you're gonna put screen and bring the opacity down, and the opacity is just like how transparent a layer is. And that's also clipping mask. That's what the lines on the side are. That's just showing it's clipping into the flat color. And then yeah, I'm just editing it a bit more, blending. And then I think I went in and I tried to like do, because when your hair like passes through light, it's like the lightest highlight to like separate him from the background. But then I think I realized I didn't like it that much, and that's just me going back and trying to fix it. Yeah, it was too harsh. So then I went over with a smaller brush. I think I also gave up. This is when I put the clipping mask on the line art layer, so it wasn't just like a solid black, and the lighting area wasn't a solid black. It was more like that lighter gray blue color, and then the bottom of the line art was like a dark bluish color. Yeah. And after all that, I just went through and I struggled a little bit, but what I did is I took all the layers, I copied them, I put both of them into their own file, and then for like one of them, I combined all the layers, so it was just the one, and then I added noise. You might have missed that. That's what all the textures, most drawing programs have a noise filter on it. And then I put Gaussian blur, is that how you say it? I put blur on it so that it's not as high resolution as the background. Oh, there's more noise. I was trying to fix it again. Wow, I'm going real fast. But yeah, basically like once you've messed up the resolution of your photo, it looks like the sharpness of your drawing doesn't affect how low quality the photo is. But yeah, that's pretty much how I did it. I tend to do this for a lot of drawings, even if it's like something I've painted myself, like I've painted over something. Just putting like noise, I think it was at like 2% noise. I had to do like another clipping mask multiply thing for that one. But some drawing programs like Procreate, you can just put a noise filter over it and then blur it, and it was like 2% blur or something. But yeah, that's how I do it. I prefer digital art because it's not as destructive as traditional art. Because for digital art, you can just reload the file if you like save it correctly. But for traditional art, that's real hard. If you do like traditional painting and stuff like that, good job. I cannot do it. I can't even keep a notebook anymore. But yeah, that's my tutorial. You can do this for a lot of lighting. The one I just happened to do was very like cool lighting. I have some other examples of like warm lighting, but I personally like doing like really dramatic dark lighting. But yeah, that's pretty much the entire tutorial. Good luck if you end up doing this method, which is honestly a pretty lazy method. Do show me, that'd be really cool. I have my Discord server in the description, so if you want to send it over to me, that'd be real neat. But yeah, that's cool. All right.